400 is probably fine.
The strangers, believe me when I say, loving me is loving danger. Your heart is bound to break. I walk alone in the night, beneath the pale moon. Loving's for the fools, baby, beware of my body. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a creeping through the shadows and the corners of your mind. I go where the wind blows. I run but I don't hide. I hear the call of the wild, whispering the name. No, I can't be tamed. My heart belongs to the night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a
Good evening, guys. Welcome to the live stream. I swear this stream is not late because I was playing Star Citizen. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But yeah, apart from that, guys, hopefully we won't have the internet problems that we had earlier today. We also did a little bit of prep work in organising that. So obviously, big shout out to my friend Satellite, who obviously helped me out with that. Even though you guys can't hear him at the moment, so I'll turn him on. Say hello, Satellite.
Hello, everyone.
You have to work out some sort of intro for you, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Satellite. How are you?
I'm new here. But yeah, guys, obviously, look, at the end of the day, please feel free to smack that like button. Obviously, feel free to go through and share this link for the live stream up and running now, because YouTube doesn't want to tell some people, so, you know, handy. But yeah, obviously we're going to go through, we're going to talk about the news for the week, well, stuff that we think is important anyway, basically, yeah, just, it's going to be a bit of a laugh at the left, really? Laugh at the left fest? But yeah, let's jump into it. Apart from that, do you have anything you want to say before we start, Seth?
Yeah, the left has gone completely crazy over the past week. And I'm definitely going to be having some good laughs and also getting extremely angry. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, well, we'll try not to get angry, but I don't know if we're going to be able to help it on this one, that's for sure. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Donald Trump Jr. ruthlessly mocks baby balloon. So, some of you may have fully realised or fully heard, if you've been watching the show, that there was a baby Trump balloon that was flying over London. Now look, at the end of the day, like I've said before, look, freedom of speech. Knock themselves out. They can go through, they can do this. The left wants to put up a $30,000 baby balloon that's 7 meters tall or whatever it is. You got more money than sense, but hey, you know, they did the same thing to Sadiq Khan, so who can really say or comment? Apart from that, the funny thing is that obviously Trump has heard about it. He said it, quote, made him feel unwelcome. We'll get to that in a sec. But Donald Trump Jr. mocked UK protesters who staged a giant balloon of his father on Twitter Friday. Quote, if this is the resistance, I'm really glad I'm on the non-batshit crazy side. Trump Jr. tweeted. Trump Jr. was responding to video director and producer Robbie Starbucks tweeted that, including a picture of several odd-looking protesters in front of the 20-foot balloon. How to describe this? Okay. So there's a trans person that is spreading its legs, I suppose. At the front, you know, like, well, I don't even know how to say that. And then it's just basically it's a collection of freaks and weirdos all behind it, Like, I don't know if you've got this article up or not, if you can see it there, Sat, but like, jeez, dude, like,
yeah,
I
need a fork. I'm gonna bust my eyes out.
yeah, like, wow, yeah. Moving along, it's the first story and I'm already speechless. I can't put my finger on it, but I get the distinct feeling everyone in this photo might be a lunatic, Starbucks tweeted. Only in 2018 could this be described as the resistance. The balloon advertised to soar over London's skyline in defiance of Trump turned out to be far smaller than less noticeable than expected. Yeah, it was tiny, but anyway, regarding. Apart from that, okay, so do you think Trump might have got upset over this thing? Or do you think he just did not care and he was just trolling them a little bit? What's your thoughts, Seth?
You broke up a lot, so I don't know what you were saying, actually.
Sure.
I'm just really sorry.
No, that's all right. Sorry. Let me go through. Okay, so we're going to have internet connections all day. Yay! Who do I have to bribe to get NBN in my area? That's what I want to know. All right. Is that any better? Nope.
We'll see. Yep, okay. Go for it.
All right. So yeah, let me know if it drops in or out again. I might just drop the VPN. So what's your thoughts on Trump? Do you think he was actually genuinely offended by this thing? Or do you think he was just, nah, these guys are just batshit crazy, I'm just going to troll them?
Yeah. Maybe he said he was upset, but
yeah,
I don't think he was.
No.
I don't think he felt unwelcome. I think he just laughed at it.
True. What about...
Maybe he's trolling them and saying that he feels unwelcome.
Yeah, I was going to say, it might be like a bit of a sarcastic dig saying, you know, like, oh, I feel so unwelcomed here. You know, like, yeah. I would say I don't think he really, I can't imagine Trump being bothered by this thing. Someone wrote in comments, looks like looks like something you'd expect in California. That is actually a very good point. This is London. This is not California. These guys look like freaks and weirdos that you literally will see in a parade. But anyway, yeah. Apart from that, look, I good post by Trump Jr. Trump Senior, I reckon's trolling, and the balloon, well, ended up a bit of a bust. So yeah, I'm thinking that's kind of a, yeah, I don't know, win-win-win, I suppose. I don't know. Let's jump into the next story. Is my audio playing up now, or is it getting better? Or
it's still a bit choppy, but it yeah.
It really would. Okay. So Peter Strzok's new foreign entity hacked Clinton emails and did nothing about it. So yeah, kind of weird, because weren't they going on about how the emails couldn't have been hacked? I thought they were saying that.
That's what they said.
I thought the server
That's what they said, that couldn't have been hacked.
I thought the server was supposed to be secure, and that wasn't the issue, you know, because everybody on the right was saying, what would happen if this email server got hacked? And they were probably like, well, that won't happen. That didn't happen, right? But it did happen. We know it happened because they downloaded 29,996 of the emails. So, interesting, but let's keep going. Louis Gourmet, I might be mispronouncing, said FBI agent Peter Strutt had been made aware of a foreign entity, not the Russian state, oh, that's interesting, intercepting over 30,000 emails sent or received by Hillary Clinton's unauthorized personal email server, through which she conducted governmental communications in her former capacity as Secretary of State. So, looks like someone actually downloaded these emails and it wasn't the Russians. That's interesting. Let's jump into a little bit more of it. Shared big news to Strutt when he'd heard of so long from the intelligence community. The investigation for the Inspector General, Frank Rucker, a brilliant patriot, but was sent by the Intelligence Committee Inspector General Chuck McCullough to brief the FBI because they found... because of when they found what they found, they won. What? That sentence doesn't make sense, but let's keep going. They got into this FBI immediately because they knew it was a security threat to the country. So they what they found was that in the emails, 30,000 plus emails had gone through Hillary Clinton's email server. They found an anomaly, and if forensics examined it, they found that there was an email address that every time an email was sent or received by Hillary Clinton, this little embedded and compartmentalized piece of data ordered that email sent to a third party that happens to be a foreign entity. They were not talking of any relationship to Russia, and so when they realized over 30,000 of her emails, and this had been news earlier this year, that the same intelligence IG office that were the first ones to point out that there was a great deal of classified information on that private server. So, okay, so it looks like someone set up some sort of phishing scam or something on her emails so that when she received or sent an email, it would also go to this other address. Now we know it's not the Russians, but they don't say who it was. That in itself is interesting. Gorbett said, I'm not supposed to say who intercepted Hillary's emails. I'll give source and methods, I'm told, but I can say it ain't Russia. So I wonder who the hell it was then, if it wasn't the Russian. Was it maybe China or someone?
I can only think... I would point my finger, if it's not Russia, then I guess China or Japan. Yeah. Maybe Korea.
UK? What do you reckon the UK might be spying on us? Spying on the Americans too? They are allies, but that doesn't mean they don't spy.
It's possible. Yeah.
We don't know. It could be anybody. It could be the friggin' Netherlands for all we know. It could be the Dutch.
Yeah. I'm just, I thought it was always the Russians. That's just surprises. Yeah.
They're just the boogeyman. That's who people like to blame. Can you imagine the shit fight if this was Russia? It'd be like the sweaty man syndrome. It'd be like the left sitting there with like a rag wiping their forehead going, do we admit that her email was hacked? Or do we blame the Russians? Because the thing, if Russia hacked, just say hypothetically, right? Obviously they did, but say hypothetically, say Russia hacked the email system, they wouldn't be able to admit to it, because then they would have to admit that that server was hacked.
Well, I think this is great because they have to admit the server was hacked and have to say that it's not Russia.
But we know they don't have to admit anything. They're not going to admit this. This is on Breitbart. Do you really think this got more than 5 seconds, if that, on CNN or MSNBC?
Oh dear. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Maybe all people can do is just tweet the hell out of it.
Yeah. tweeting it will obviously help, but I'm pretty sure it was doing pretty well when it came to tweeting. But like even Twitter, it's just, dude, it's leftist now. It's gone down the gogler, and at the end of the day, all people do is they just Twitter just goes through and just censors the hashtag. It's ridiculous. But anyway, let's jump into the next one. So another Breitbart article. I'm only bringing them up one at a time, guys, just to try and save the internet. But free speech is dead. Khan's London bans pro-Trump rally at US Embassy. I actually believe the pro-Trump rally actually went through after this. This was earlier in the week. This is on the 14th, which was 2 days ago. I believe the pro-Trump rally actually went through. But Sadiq Khan's London have used the Public Order Act to prevent a rally in support of the US President outside the American Embassy, despite permitting a large, ill-tempered anti-Trump rally on Friday. Like I said, the rally did actually go through from my understanding. If I have that wrong, please let me know in the comment section. Protesters attend the Welcome Trump event, had planned to gather outside the embassy and march from there to Whitehall. They would then have joined in with the separate Free Tommy Robinson event in support of the activist and independent journalist who was recently imprisoned for contempt of court after reporting on a grooming gang trial. But the Metropolitan Police Force, which answers to a large extent the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, used the Public Order Act to impose a raft of restrictions on both groups for protesters, which have made this impossible. Despite allowing far larger anti-Trump protesters, at which at least 6 people were arrested, to go ahead on Saturday, with demonstrators carrying signs emblazoned with harsh profanity and messages such as "Die Trump, die." So, basically, at the end of the day, the skinny version of this is that Sadiq Khan was squashing a pro-Trump rally, or tried to squash a pro-Trump rally. Like I said, I do believe it actually went through in the end because of the public backlash. Basically did not do anything to the anti-Trump rally. It's funny how that happens, isn't it? What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are that it doesn't surprise me. And the second thing is, I'm surprised to hear the words public safety order or public order, because they brought that law in, I think, last year in Australia, the public safety orders.
Yeah, you reckon we might be getting a taste of things to come?
Yes. I mean, they brought that in here, and I thought, well, it doesn't surprise me that they were copying Europe. But those safety orders, they're pretty bad, actually.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, like I said, as far as my understanding, the rally did actually go through. Sargon of Akkad was supposedly there. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I would say, I think he had to back down on it. There was a lot of attention on this. So, yeah, kind of cool.
But there were no incidents, no police incidents or nothing.
At the pro-Trump rally, not as far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
I could be wrong on that, but as far as I know, yeah. Well, Tommy Robinson has actually come out and said to people that he does not want people to riot or anything because it's just going to make him getting bail harder. So yeah, he wants everybody to behave himself. While we are talking about the Trump administration and the rally for Free Tommy, Trump administration spoke up for Tommy Robinson in meeting with British ambassadors. So Donald Trump's administration intervened on behalf of anti-grooming gang campaigner Tommy Robinson and expressed concerns over his safety to Britain's ambassador to the US, sources claimed. Sam Brownback, President Trump's ambassador at large for international religious freedoms, reportedly asked Britain's Sir Kim Darach, might be mispronouncing, to treat the counter-terrorism activists more sympathetic, or the US administration may feel US administration may feel compelled to publicly criticize Britain's handling of his case, according to two sources in contact with the organizer of a free Tommy demonstration held on the 14th of July. Reuters, which broke the story, claimed that British officers confirmed the intervention, telling them that the ambassador Brownback had raised the issue of Robinson's imprisonment during a meeting which covered a range of religious freedom issues. And Judge Chan and
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's actually what Judge Chan just said in chat. His response was, hell yeah! And I actually have to agree with that. So look, obviously this will be good news for Tommy. You literally have the President of the United States of America being aware of Tommy Robinson being arrested in the UK and them giving him a harsh treatment. Yeah.
What do you want to bet that Trump reads Breitbart or something?
He does.
Wow.
He reads
cool.
Breitbart, he also watches InfoWars, and he also watches, reportedly, watches Fox News every night.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool in itself. We do have a lot more stories on this, so we probably should just keep going with those ones.
Yeah.
So there's this one, which is Sean Hannity takes the streets in London to interview anti-Trump protesters. So Fox News host Sean Hannity took to the streets in London to interview several people protesting President Trump's UK visit and asked them why they did not like about the US president. So we do have that video. We'll play that for you in a sec. One poster noted that the political division on both countries, suggesting that conversations had been hoodwinked by Trump. Oh, really? You're going to blame Trump for this? I think America is divided like Britain, said a protester. They're claiming that Britain is divided, right?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with Trump?
Nothing. I think it's just bad thing. Trump. Bad thing. Trump. That's basically the leftist thought pattern.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, let's keep going. I think a lot of British people are more intelligent than Americans when it comes to voting, said another. I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole, but anyway. I think it represents everything that is toxic about Western culture and Western history, and I'm furious, said a woman. I'm furious, said Jigglypuff. They don't have a lot of good reasons, but I thought it was kind of a good party, Hannity said after this segment. We do actually have that video. Well, it's on the actual file. It's embedded. I can't play it on YouTube. But okay. Yeah. Do you want me to play it, or do you want to just skip the next story?
Yeah, just play it.
Right.
Yeah, play it for the audience.
All right, so earlier today, against the advice of everybody here with me in London, well, we hit the streets, and we were asking all these protesters to tell us exactly, specifically, what they don't like about President Trump. Well, you can't make this up. Take a look. Why are you here today?
I'm here to protest.
What specifically don't you like about Trump?
I don't like his policies.
What policy?
All of them. Tell Trump to go home. He's not welcome here. We don't want him in the UK.
We hope that he takes this seriously. But of course he won't. He'll just ignore it and pretend it hasn't happened. La la la.
This seems like a party. It doesn't seem too serious.
No, look, everyone's just here for a good time, just to spread a message of love.
Don't you love America?
We're not going to engage. Oh, okay, so the first one was, what don't you like about Trump's policies? Everything. Okay. And then Hannity on the third or fourth one literally turns around and says, this seems like a great big party. No one's taking this serious. She's like, yeah, it's a great big party of love. And then then Hannity turns around and says, "Do you love America?" And it's like, It was like supposed to be a great big party of love, but you literally got "Die Trump Die" on poster. So yeah.
Got it. Please make your way. Got it. Yeah, we disagree a lot, but you're very welcome to be here. Thank you. And I saw some people giving you trouble. There's no need for that.
I think America is divided, like Britain. I think part of America is deeply, deeply ashamed, and I think part of America has been hoodwinked.
Do you think that the NATO alliance, that the United States of America, is it fair if they pay 70% of the bill? What are you protesting? Are you here to you're just here to have a party, be honest.
I can't believe this is tone, man.
I'm here because of all the hate that Trump exudes, yeah.
I wasn't going to come out initially just because Trump's a
And why are you here?
To protest against the Trump administration and everything.
And what about them?
I'm okay not being interviewed.
It's a nightmare. He might.
Angel, yeah, there's a link in the description below that is actually being fixed and updated, so you can join us on the Discord if you like. Dude, these people have no idea what they're protesting. They literally have no idea at all.
That's usually the case with these protests, though. People have done interviews on YouTube. They go up to them and ask them,
I know.
what's the go?
I've seen it over in America, and I thought, look, maybe it's just an American thing. But, dude, they don't have any idea. They really have no idea. He's like, what are you protesting? Then they'll be like, Trump. Okay, what about Trump are you protesting? I'm fine with not being interviewed, thank you. It's like, because you have no idea. You have no idea what you're talking about.
The literal definition of a sheep.
Yeah, literally. I've been told to turn up and protest, so I'm just doing it. But anyway.
Must be stopped.
America, wake up! Vote him out!
It's been hot this summer for a reason, you know what I mean?
Is it Donald Trump's fault it's hot?
No, but I think he's promoting climate change.
Donald is not welcome, and free Melania.
I detest Trump because of his policies, because of his racism and homophobia and misogyny, and because he's just two-faced and duplicitous.
We respect human rights in this country, and we'd like him to see that the way that he acts and the way that he speaks, we profoundly, profoundly reject it in a polite way.
The lies that he's told, not to mention the human rights abuses that he's committed in his own country, we don't think he has any place over here.
I think a lot of British people are more intelligent than the Americans are when it comes to voting.
I'm quite angry. Even though I don't look angry, I am quite angry. Because what I think that he represents everything that's toxic about Western culture and Western history. And I'm furious.
All right. They didn't really have good reasons, but it was kind of a good party. I was shocked at how many people knew me. Here with reaction, the author of the book, Why.
All right. Look, at the end of the day, they don't really seem to have a good idea. Angel, I've posted that link in the Discord, for the Discord in the chat as well. But it's also in the description, guys. Yeah, look, dude, they really don't have any good idea why they're protesting. They don't know. They have no idea, really, to be honest. They're just protesting because Trump. But that's literally the reason. Anyway.
Speechless again.
Yeah, speechless again, I tell you. This whole weekend has just been like WTF all weekend. But this next story, oh boy, how close to the sun you want to fly on this one?
We can probably charge the batteries.
Let's just hope the shields are fully charged by this point. Alright, so normalization of something or other that I'm not going to say goes mainstream. child something or other rebranded as minor attracted persons. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. I'll have a look at it, Angel, in a sec. But yeah, Angel's saying that when he clicks on the link, it doesn't work. I have a bad habit of forgetting to change the timer on that thing, so it could be me, actually. I'll play with it in a sec. So, in a disturbing attempt to normalise pedos, as mainstream sexual orientation, pedophiles are rebranding themselves as minor attracted persons, with the hope that they will be accepted as a part of the LGBT plus community. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. A website has been established called the Prevention Project, which sports the tagline, "Everyone deserves support." And attempts to push two disgusting ideas: that there are different classes of pedos for different ages of children, and that they should be accepted by society. Oh boy. The non-offending pedophiles should be praised for the fact that they have not molested children yet. Really? Moving along. Yeah, Judge Chan, mate, I know what you're saying, but I do have a unique take on this. And before you guys absolutely crucify me in the chat, let me finish the sentence before. But let's keep going with this for a minute. The Prevention Project defines a pedophile as an adult who's attracted to prepubescent children. Duh, really. And claims there are different classes of pedophiles based on the age of the children. Which include... I need a shower. I just need to go and scrub this off me. Infophiles, pedophiles who are attracted only to infants, apparently, and hebephiles, pedos who are attracted to prepubescent children, and the allophiles, pedophiles who are attracted to post-pubescent children. Okay, I can't finish this article anymore, so we're just going to leave it there. And yeah, okay, so my unique approach on this is, and please, for the love of God, let me finish this sentence before you try and crucify me in the channel. I fully support pedophiles trying to do this within the LGBT plus community. Let me finish before you go hitting up the comment section. The reason is because nothing will make the leftists or the progressives look more like a joke than accepting pedophiles. And that will do an amazing job when it comes to going through and red-pilling normies. If you start having pedophiles going through and being accepted by the left, that will push people towards the right, or to the center at least. So I think pedophiles deserve to die a horrible death. YouTube, you can't strike me on that, because otherwise you're sticking up for them. But that said, I also support the fact that the left should embrace pedophiles, and it's just, we can sit back and watch the left eat itself into a million different pieces. I don't know, dude. What's your thought on this?
Well, I mean, gotta love the fact that they found a PC term for pedo, the gender attracted persons.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Minor attracted.
Yeah, sorry, minor attracted persons, and this is a new low. I used to say nothing surprised me, but this did. And I kind of agree with you for different reasons. I mean, yeah, that, you know, let them in. You know, it'll just bring on the so and so quicker.
Yeah, it'll force people to go towards the right. That's for sure, definitely.
Yeah, and this will. The thing here is that it's about informing the public as much as possible that this is happening.
Yeah,
that's the trick. You don't fight it. You let them do it and inform the public as much as you can.
True.
Yeah, that's the strategy I have on this one.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I really don't know what to say on this one. Angel, if you want to try that link there, buddy, that should work. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, I don't know. I really don't know. A part of me wants the left to, use accelerationism, whatever you want to call it. That in itself will obviously allow you to go through and, basically, convert more people.
Let them pick up the wood and the nails, and then we can just crucify them with it.
Yeah, true. Yeah, like I say, look, at the end of the day, look, obviously for any on the right wing watch that want to do an article, I think pedophiles are disgusting. I think pedophiles deserve a bullet, and I don't think it should matter if you're a functioning pedophile or a non-functioning pedophile or whatever the frig you want to call it this day. Okay, at the end of the day, one is the same thing. Angel, if that was you that jumped in, feel free to jump into the waiting room and I'll bring you in the show, buddy. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think this is, I don't know. Can we just move on to the next story?
If you thought this was bad, the one we have next is actually worse. It was a hell of a weekend.
You're talking about Elon Musk?
Oh, I thought the next one was going to be the California University.
Not yet. No, I think we're still down a bit for that.
Okay, all right. We'll give the audience a break from such horrible things.
Yeah, let's break up the gut-wrenching, want to vomit up and, kill my intestines. I believe the first time I heard of maps was the Podesta emails. Interesting, isn't that, Judge? Interesting that that maps were mentioned in the Podesta emails. Very interesting indeed. So, liberal meltdown. Furious libs outraged after Elon Musk's revealed as one of top Republican PAC donors. Oh boy, this is going to get interesting, as in, oh my god, this is going to cause a meltdown. And it did. So basically, update 2, as the night progresses, Elon Musk is growing increasingly perpetrated by the latest GOP donations revelations, as the following tweet in a true spirit of the provider will attest. Quote, reports that I am a top donor to the GOP are categorically false. Oh, damn, it was fake news. I am not the top donor to any political party. Well, he does say top donor. What about, just donating in general? But anyway. A few minutes later, he says, are you any kind of donor to the GOP? Yes, about 0.5 of what I donate to the Sierra Club, which is a reasonable amount to maintain an open dialogue. So, also, as Elon Musk's battle against Pravada is set to make him liberal media enemy number 1, it comes as worst possible time, just as everyone was prepared to slay Donald Trump for the meeting of Putin on Monday. Update, we bring you the update of damage control, a totally random, unsolicited, organic Twitter exchange, or as Tesla's charts notice, that'll fill the mob. So Elon Musk then wrote, thank you for fighting climate change. This affects every living creature on Earth. So from what I understand from this, Elon Musk donates, but he only actually donates around $33,900. to the GOP. Apart from that, no, considering some donations, no. So the top donator is Robert McNair, followed by Sheldon Allison. They both give over $171,000. Holy dooly! He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's in the 6th, presumably. So he's a SpaceX. Look, at the end of the day, obviously it makes sense for him to be donating money to Trump, to the GOP. He obviously wants to have an open dialogue with them when it comes to SpaceX and stuff like that. So I really don't see a problem with this. That said, I don't see a problem with him donating money to the Democrats either. I think you can feel free to go through and basically give money to whoever you want. But I don't have a problem with this either way. Do you?
Oh, I don't have a problem with people donating money.
No.
I'm still going to judge you based on who you donate to, though.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, if the Democrats were in power, obviously I would try and donate to swing for freedom of speech and stuff. That's how it works, isn't it? You give money and then,
I think it should be based on public vote, what people want, rather than what some billionaire wants.
True.
I mean, I'm not trying to talk bad of Elon Musk, just saying.
No.
Government is there to represent the people, not the rich. But that's just an opinion.
The Ed space. Been going on a long time in this country. My sister and I are both victims of this from the late 70s. Is that the maps thing or the Podesta emails, or what are you talking about there, Ed space? Let us know in the comment section, bro. Sounds interesting. Apart from that, yeah, look, I don't have a problem with it. Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, moving along, I suppose. Let's jump into the next thing. Alright, what else have we got? Germany just agreed to essentially close its borders. How did we get here? Did someone just red pill Germany?
It's public pressure on Merkel. She's trying to save her career.
Oh, okay. So I might have a little bit of background story on this. But let's jump into the comments. Let's jump into the story. German Chancellor Angela Merkel stunned the world in 2015 by announcing that she would allow nearly 1 million asylum seekers into her country. A humanitarian gesture offering hope to those suffering from the ravages of wars worldwide. Really? What war are they trying to escape from in Syria again? Or Africa? What wars over in Africa at the moment that we don't know about?
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're talking about.
No.
Wars worldwide?
Hmm.
Okay.
It's also weird that they travel halfway across the Atlantic Ocean or whatever it is to drop these people off too when they're considerably escaping a war zone, hey?
Yeah. I mean, if you're escaping a war zone, don't you go to the nearest country?
Well, that's what the international law says, that you go to the nearest port that can provide you with aid.
Yeah, nearest safe country. That's what it says.
It's funny, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
And usually you don't have to pay for the ride too.
No, true. No, well, what did we find out from that girl smuggling that kid down over in America? She was paying the coyotes, what, 6,000 was it?
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder how much these boat people are paying. But let's jump into it. The move transformed her into the poster child for open up international borders. High-profile Germany politics, mainstream media outlets, and the public railed behind the idea. Yes, because they're sheep. Images of Germany welcoming refugees at a train station matched public opinion polls showing the majority of support for the new arrivals. Is this a leftist rag that's written this?
It actually is, which is what I thought was interesting. It's like a leftist going down the red pill road.
I can tell by them going on about people supporting it from the start. But anyway, for those who are fleeing a bit nervous, the Chancellor reassured them the country and her government could handle it. Oh, really? How's that handling it for you now? But by 2018, the public mood had soured significantly. I wonder why. A new Gov poll finds 72% of Germans saying their country's immigration policy is negligent. Negligent? Is that? Yeah, maybe. With only 12% saying that about... Sorry, with only 12% saying it's about right. Last week, the reversal in public sentiment became the official when the German Chancellor ended a standoff with the hardline immigration... Okay, yeah, all right. Now we're getting the idea of the crux of the idea. Immigration reactionists in the government by dealing a mortal blow to the concept of open borders. She agreed to speed up deportations, to turn back refugees already registered in another European Union nation, and to let anti-immigration leader Horst Sofra, might be mispronouncing, remain as head of the ministry charged with implementing those policies. She even acceded to open transit centres along the border in Bolivia where refugees could be detained, though this provision was later dropped. Okay, so in case people are sitting there thinking, oh my god, Chancellor Merkel's been red-pilled. No, she hasn't. She's literally been grabbed by the you-know-what. It starts with B and ends in S. And someone squeezed them and told her that if she didn't agree to these new deals, they're going to go back to the polls. And she knew she would lose. That's my take on this. Yep. What do you reckon?
Yeah, basically, that's very much what seems to be happening in a lot of the articles over the past couple of weeks. There was a chance that she was going to get thrown out last week. It looks like
I was showing you that.
Simply went, okay. Yeah, it looks like it's actually, well, she's just gone, okay, fine, I can keep my career, I'll change my stance. But I don't think it's going to work. At the next vote, she's still out.
Yeah, well, 72% apparently are against immigration. That's quite a number there, Merkel.
Yeah, so 72% of Germany are Nazis. That's what I take.
Apparently. It must make you wonder if the left sit there at this stage and think, I'm really starting to look like a minority right about now.
Yeah. It's actually interesting that this blogger sounds like a lefty, but still pretty much writes the reality. It's kind of interesting. Some lefties might actually be going a bit more centrist or right wing now.
Well, yeah, after how many people get raped, murdered, and whatnot, you kind of have to, really, don't you?
Yeah. Some people will pull their head out of the sand.
Yeah.
Not everyone, but some will.
Yeah. I like the tagline up the top: free minds and free markets.
Yeah.
Well, this mind really is a bit free, isn't it? Look, at the end of the day, guys, I think this is basically Merkel trying to save her own ass. She realised that if she didn't accept and didn't go with these lines, this train of thought, that she would be out and they would be going back to the next election or another election. She would lose. And at the end of the day, this is her way of her staying in power, technically, while someone's squeezing her by the balls, so to speak. So, yeah, at the end of the day,
you know where this is going to go from here, right? Then the conversation's going to have to be, what do they do with the ones that are there already?
Well, she's talking about speeding up deportations.
Yeah.
So they're going to deport them.
But how many? I mean, they're going to have the conversation as to how many are they going to deport.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, if this is a no-winner for her. It really is, because now they know her kryptonite. Her kryptonite is that she wants to keep her job at all costs. So now, if they turn around and she doesn't make this deal and she doesn't agree to their terms, They can just say, fuck it, we're going to another election. They've literally got it by the... Yeah, they've literally got it by the gonads, and they're giving them a good old squeeze, per se.
Yeah.
I'm kind of liking it,
it's about
to be honest.
time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm no fan of Merkel, so... Yeah, but... although this is... Although for people that like accelerationism and whatnot, this is bad because this technically means that they're taking the wind out of the sail. But it's a way to save Europe. So,
well, yeah. At least one part of it.
Yeah. True. Anyway, alright, let's jump into the next thing because we got so many stories, guys. It's been insane.
It's my fault. I bought a whole bunch too.
Yeah. I brought a whole bunch from last night, plus tonight, plus Satellite brought a whole bunch of articles. So, yeah. But anyway. May warns rebels, back me or risk no Brexit at all. No, you're getting this wrong, mate. It's you back what we say, or we have another election. British Prime Minister Theresa May warned her divided party on Sunday that there may no be... start again. British Prime Minister Theresa May warned on her divided party on Sunday that there may be no Brexit deal at all if they wreck her plan to forge a close relationship with the European Union after leaving the world's biggest trading bloc. Oh, of course, it's rude as it's saying that. Never mind. My message to the country this weekend is simple. We need to keep our eyes on the prize, May wrote. That's funny because that's what they've been saying all weekend when they say, we don't want no stinking soft exit, we want a hard exit. But anyway. Linking the fate of Brexit to her own survival in such an explicit way indicates just how precarious May's position remains after her government was thrust into crisis and the US President Donald Trump publicly criticised her Brexit strategy. So look, at the end of the day, Trump has gone through and tweeted about her Brexit, basically calling it not what the country wanted. He's basically saying that she's giving them a soft Brexit when everybody wanted a hard Brexit, which is true. And it's basically putting a lot of public spotlight on Theresa May. For the record, I don't know. Can we have another election over in the UK? How do you think that would go?
Well, last time it was, what, a close 50-50 almost, right?
Yeah. You reckon it's going to change that much, though?
I don't know. I think maybe at this point it might be more. Maybe it would be better towards Brexit. Because the more time goes by, the more the public are red-pilled on the problems. So, yeah, I don't think there would be any benefit to the left to do another Brexit vote. I don't Theresa May has done it wrong.
Well, I don't think they should do another Brexit vote. I think they should have another election as to who should be the Prime Minister of the UK.
I don't think Theresa May would win. No. She's proven time and again that she's not supporting Brexit, which is what the public wanted. Well, that's what the vote wanted, yeah.
Did you see the sign of her holding up a... Hang on, let me see if I can find it. There's actually a photo of her holding up a stay in the EU sign. Hang on.
No, I haven't seen that.
Very quick Google search to see if I can find it. They called them Remainers, so maybe that was it.
Oh yeah, the Leavers versus the Remainers.
Yeah. No, I can't find it. I think Sargon actually had it in his video actually today, a few days ago actually. There's actually a photo of her holding up like a stay in the EU or I'm a Remainer, I think it was, sign.
Mm-hmm. There's a bias. Yeah.
Mm.
And, you know, she's saying in her speech there in the article that it's about forging a close relationship with the EU. Well, hang on a minute. You're leaving.
Yeah.
Don't make friends with the people that you want to walk away from.
Yeah, like the only time I want to be friends with my ex is so that I can stir them when they see me happy without them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, you know, like with my ex, I literally said, if you walk out the door and leave, you're not coming back. I'm not taking you back no matter what. I don't care if I die old and alone. I'm not taking you back. So,
You'll be fine. You have a cat.
Yeah. He keeps me warm and fuzzy. But I was going to say, oh, no, it's not. No, dude, I've got Tinder. But anyway, but what I was going to say was, apart from that, that's what the EU should be like with Britain, or Britain should be with like the EU. Okay, yeah. We've had fun. You know, we've had a few years together. It hasn't worked out. Now, we're leaving, and we'll still be Facebook friends, but unfortunately, yeah, you know, you don't get to come over and pat the kitty, so to speak, when you break up. Because that's normally not a good thing. That normally leads you back together when you start patting the kitty, so to speak.
Well, basically, yeah. And by the way, if I was in charge over there, I'd stop paying any money to the EU from the day the Brexit vote was done.
Yeah, well, there's that too, yeah. At this dude,
every rule I could.
Dude, at this stage, I would have liked Sargon to go over, or Nigel Farage. I can't pronounce that one. I can't pronounce things today properly, dude. I don't ask. But yeah, Nigel, and I would have liked Nigel to go over and to deal with this, or you know, someone, or Trump even, you know. Donny Jr. Get someone. No, not Donny Jr. I have a bit of an issue trusting him, but you know, someone to deal with this whole Brexit situation. Why can't they get UKIP to go through and do it? Why can't UKIP do it?
Yeah, just get someone competent to do it, basically.
Yeah, okay. So, but do you think her leaving the EU? Do you think it's competence, or do you think it's her not wanting to leave the EU?
Oh, it's most likely a combination of both. I mean, it's bias, and it's incompetent.
True.
In all of it. I mean, she can't even hide her bias because she's so incompetent.
Anyway, look, at the end of the day, if she keeps having people walk out, then she's going to be forced to go back to an election. And with the way UKIP is going at the moment, they are getting a lot of publicity. I'm just going to say, for the record, when I said a few weeks ago that Sargon joining UKIP, Paul Joseph Watson joining UKIP, Count Dankula joining UKIP was a good thing, and everybody else laughed. I'm just saying, all right? I told you.
Yeah, rub it in every Sunday. Go ahead.
I don't think I've mentioned on a stream before, have I?
Yeah, you did last one, I think.
Oh, okay. Hey, it'll get old after a while. But let's jump on to the next story anyway. While we're waiting for that to load, Judge Chan says Trump was unstoppable this week, and yes, totally agree. Trump really was on fire. He is back in election mode. What do you reckon? With his speeches,
the guy's he's always full on.
Yeah, but no, just with his speeches, dude, it is like he is polling again. It's like he is running for another electoral race. We will get to that in a sec, people. Don't worry, we will be dealing with Trump a little bit more. So you think this is nothing? Just wait. Lord Emperor has really been on fire this week. Ryan, on abolishing ICE push, Democrats have really jumped the shark. Ryan, you're not supposed to tell them this, bro. Okay, we're supposed to let them make this mistake for themselves. But let's jump into the article. Speaker of the House Paul Ryan says his Democratic colleagues who have called it to abolish immigration and customs enforcement are tripping over themselves in their effort to move even further left. They have really jumped the shark on the left, he said, responding to a reporter's question about the political ramifications of getting rid of an agency in some of his swing districts. Quote, I think it's Podical's bill from Madison, sorry. You want to abolish the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency? Sorry. This is the agency that gets gangs out of our communities, that helps prevent drugs from flowing into our schools, and rescues people from human trafficking. They want to get rid of this agency? Polikin is a Wisconsin Democrat. Said last month he was introducing legislation to abolish the agency because it can no longer accomplish its goals effectively in the Trump administration. I don't know, it seems to be doing a pretty good job so far. Some would say not enough, but let's keep going with this. During my trip to the southern border, it was clear that ICE and its actions of herding down and tearing families apart has wreaked havoc on far too many people. Funny they didn't care about it when Obama and Bush were doing it, did they? Well, Bush they did a little bit, but not Obama so much. Polikin said in a statement, from conducting raids at garden centers and marketing plants to breaking up families at churches and schools, ICE is tearing apart families and ripping at the moral fabric of our nation. Anyway, Ryan called the movement to get rid of the agents. Well, hang on, let me finish this for a sec. Hang on, let me finish this. Okay. Yeah. Ryan called the movement to get rid of the agency, which is gaining steam on the left, the craziest position I've ever seen. They're tripping over themselves to move to the far... Sorry. They're tripping over themselves to move too far to the left, Ryan added. They're out of the mainstream of America, and that's one of the reasons why I feel very good about this fall. Obviously, he's talking about the midterms there. All right, so what were you going to say, bro?
Yeah, I was just going to say that the moral fabric, I mean, the people that they're breaking up, they entered the country immorally, illegally. Yeah. If they entered the country correctly, then their families wouldn't be breaking up.
Yeah.
It's their fault. They brought it on themselves.
Also, let's not, talk about the fact that the people that they are deporting, there is a percentage of them that are drug dealers, human trafficking, that do crimes, they're gang members, MS-13, terrorists, all these sort of things. Like, what I want is I want all the progressives to go off and make their own country. And that way, when that country falls apart, we can just put a great big wall around it, and we can make it like a YouTube series. And we can just watch them literally tear themselves apart and their city. Like, so the problem is, and this is where I've said to you in the past, the problem with the left and the progressives, it isn't them getting themselves hurt by what their actions. I don't care if a progressive wants to go through and advocate for open borders if everybody in that city, county, town, country, whatever is left. If it's only them that's going to get hurt, knock yourself out. But in America, there's 320 million people. Say a third of them are left, progressive left. That's 2/3 of the population that's going to get hurt by drugs, terrorists, gang members, child trafficking, all these sort of lovely people that, quote, rip at the moral fabric of our country. I'm sorry, if this is the moral fabric of your country, you need a reality check. You really need to sit there and say, this is not the moral fabric that we want. But I'm a Nazi, apparently, so, what would I know? I don't know. You've got family, mate. What do you reckon? Do you want your kids, future kids, to go to a school with gang members, gang bangers, MS-13 that literally cut the hearts out of people that are still alive?
Ideally not.
Yeah, I might say it's a big no for me if I ever have kids. I don't want them to associate with those sort of people. Oh, what about like drug dealers and people that that push drugs and drug dealers and drug smugglers, and they're probably not a real good bunch of people to have in your country either, would they? Hey, you'd probably say no to associating with them as well.
Yeah, I would say that's a good way to do it. Don't associate with those people. Don't be in towns where those people are.
And like terrorists, I presume also you don't want your kid to associate with terrorists or anything like that, right? You don't want them to.
No.
No. So at the end of the day, that this moral fabric that the left is talking about, it doesn't seem very moral to me, does it?
No, it's moral. They're morally bankrupt.
Now, look, at the end of the day, I will say for the record, for the right-wing watch and everybody who wants to do an article on me calling me a Nazi, hashtag it's not all, but that's what ICE does. ICE goes through at the border and says, okay, you're entering this country illegally because normally you can't enter the country legally, which is why they're trying to do it illegally. So off you go, back from whence you came. Or if they have a genuine claim, they process them. So I really don't see this problem here. And this is something the left doesn't want to acknowledge. All these people that do the border crossing, not 100% of them are getting sent back. There are people that are getting claims filled out and stuff like that. There are people that are claiming asylum that are getting stuff like that in the actual getting asylum to the US. But it is, I find it really weird that the US Democrats are pushing for open borders after they lost their last election. Trump has been exporting a whole bunch of illegal aliens out of the country, and they're not looking too good with their midterms already. It's like they're trying to beef up their voter numbers with illegal immigration.
No, didn't you hear? Voter fraud doesn't happen.
Sorry, my bad. That's right. No. Voter fraud doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Russia hacked the election. Right. Hillary Clinton didn't have an email, so got it. Right, yeah. I don't know, guys. Look, to me, this just seems like it's a way of the left trying to beef up their numbers for the votes for the midterms. They're shit scared they're going to lose. So, hey, we bring in an extra 300,000 or 400,000 illegal aliens that are going to vote Democratic because 80 or 90% of them do. Then at the end of the day, they won't have such a huge loss that they're going to have over the midterms. But at the end of the day, this red wave, it's starting to look like it's starting to look like a kiddie pond more than a red wave, blue wave.
I have a good game reference.
Sure.
A good game reference.
Sorry,
would be,
blue wave, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a blue wave. Yeah, but a good gaming reference is, remember the StarCraft Zerg. The blue wave is like the creep. It's unstoppable.
Except it's not going to be blue. I think this wave that they're suspecting, I think they might be looking at it with funny coloured lenses, and what they're actually seeing is a red wave, and they're just thinking it's a blue wave.
Yeah, they're very mistaken.
There was actually I think it was Ben Carson did a cartoon where it's like a person's playing in a pond, like in like a ditch, like in a puddle, and he's like splashing the water, and he's going blue wave, blue wave, blue wave. And then in the background, you see Trump surfing this huge, great big red wave, and it's got the midterms written in the wave. Judge Chan wrote, Red Sesame, say that. I can't pronounce things today, I really can't. Judge wrote, yeah, sorry, he just wrote 2 things and the other one was funny. Judge wrote in the chat, Red Tsunami 2018. Yeah, that word. And then Judge wrote also just then, hashtag walk away is legit. Yeah, we don't actually have much on that walk away. I am familiar with it, but that was sort of earlier in the week. Are you familiar with what that walk away is, or walk away is, or?
I'll quickly look it up.
All right.
Yeah.
I was going to say, while you're looking at that, oof, how's those shields handling?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
So I know which one you're going to bring up then.
Yeah. So across America, whites.
Let's just do it.
Yeah, across America, whites are biased, and they don't even know it. This is yet another leftist rag. Do we need to ask you why you keep surfing the leftist rags for?
I look for interesting things sometimes, but okay. A lot of these also came from Mikoy. So. Oh,
okay. Well, I'm gonna have to ask Mikoy why the hell he's looking up all these progressive mags. But anyway, so most white Americans demonstrate bias against blacks, even if they're not aware of or able to control it. It's surprising little discussed factor in the anguished debates over the race and law enforcement that followed the shootings of unarmed black men by white police officers. Oh my God, don't even get me started on this. This has got to be this is a leftist rag, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, let's just keep soldiering through it. Such implicate biases which if they were influence split-second law enforcement decisions, could have life or death consequences and are measured by psychological tests. The most prominent are computerized implicate associate tests, which has been taken by over 2 million people online at the website Project Implicant. So, basically what you're seeing here is on the chart you are seeing, so this top one, my mouse is not showing, so this one up here where it's the red and blue. So the blue one is the areas where there is less bias, where it is more friendly, multicultural friendly, let's just say. And the red ones, that is the account of actual very biased. So obviously the darker the red, the more biased it is, or the more racist, quote, they are subconsciously. Now, the funny thing is that if you overlay the population of America with black population limits, you get a very interesting figure. You get a very interesting comparison between the two groups. It just... That bottom graph... How do I put this delicately? That bottom chart...
Just display it, don't say anything.
That bottom chart is the states by percentage of black people. The top graph, or the top figure, is the states that have bias and they don't know it, or even know it. There seems to be a link between these two graphs. Yeah. Do I have to spell it out for anybody?
Don't spell it out.
Yeah.
I think everyone gets it.
It's weird how that story sort of went there a little bit, isn't it? All right, moving along. Yes. Well, not touching that one any more than I already have. So, Daily Cash, or Cash Daily, Clash Daily, Okay, whatever. Jessica Chambers, team murdered immediately after local blacks called for rape and burning of a white woman. Oh boy, how are those shields handling up, buddy? Those shields all right?
I think there's a couple of cracks down the side. We've got a little bit of hull damage.
Okay, well, just very, just try and back away slowly from this one. The truth about a murder and race. The truth about murder and race in Mississippi may prove. Fuck me drunk. Start again. The truth about murder and race in Mississippi may provide reluctable to black and white after all, as with 50 years ago in the infamous Mississippi burning case. Breaking bombshell social media evidence in the Jessica Chambers case suggests that dynamic is reversed, but similar. So, in trying to follow all sorts of details surrounding the grimly immortalization death of the white former cheerleader. Oh no, don't kill the cheerleaders! 2 weeks ago, one encouraged a cast of very shady characters in a country-mile-long road with the sorority black story of a small-town police corruption in Panola County, and troubled family tale of a murky and country almost beyond belief. Nailing the actual guilty party, however, could turn out to be not all that complicated. It's because some black terrorists in the victim's immediate circles have left a rather obvious trail of specific, racially oriented, murderous threats. Oh, okay. But yeah, for readers familiar with the concept of Occam's razor, what seems to be incredibly tangled mystery might just instead fit the bullet template of what I call Occam's race war. Oh, probably shouldn't have said that word, but anyway. 1 week before and just on the day before, Jessica Chambers was carjacked and burnt to death. Oh, really? I'm going to be very disappointed if this girl is beautiful. Was she? Oh, goddamn. She wasn't bad looking, no.
Yeah.
I will post a photo here for everybody that wants to. Yeah, that's what she looked like. Although she looks a little.
Well, just something interesting there too is that it seems that it happens in America too, where people openly make death threats and organize things on social media, and the police don't do anything about them because they're a minority.
Yeah, so from what I can sort of guess from this, someone called for death threats of a white woman on social media, and she was carjacked and burnt to death. Did they know her, or? So her intimate circles and acquaintances were involved in the Facebook exchange. Okay. So they knew her. Probably went to school with her.
Yeah. Yes. So I mean, the violence goes both ways.
Oh yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah. Hashtag not all. Okay, YouTube. Oh boy, I'll be lucky to have a channel left after this week. Guys, this might be a great opportunity for me to shell out my second channel. But yeah, no. Let's jump onto something that's a little more light, a little more friendly, should we say? Probably shouldn't be a part of that one then. We've actually already covered that. Pedophiles believe they should be a part of the LGBT community. We've already covered that. We covered that.
If you want to go lights, we'll do the California one last. If you want, we can end it on that.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right, let's jump the shark. Peter Dutton Peter Dutton contradicts Morrison and says migrant cuts positive for the economy. Whew. Hang on. Yeah, engineering? Yeah. What do you say? The shield's at what, 20%? Oh, okay. Alright. Peyton Dutton says...
Sorry, I brought you a few dangerous ones, didn't I?
Yeah. This is my fault for not checking them out beforehand. But anyway. Peter Dutton says recent drop in the number... Sorry?
I told you to read them.
Yeah, but it was a choice. Read articles, play Star Citizen. Read articles, play Star Citizen. Flying around the universe in a great big ship is really kind of appealing, I must say. But let's jump into it. Peter Dutton says a recent drop in the number of immigrants settling permanently in Australia will be a positive for the economy, contradicting Scott Morrison's argument the lower immigration's level cost the budget. Yes, well, okay. So we're not going to talk about anyone in particular in this immigration, are we? So so it was revealed last week that, sorry, I've got the hiccups, 162,417 people permanently migrated to Australia in 2017 and 2018. Well, that's about 162,000 people too many, but anyway. Well, under the 190 cap down from 183,000 the year before. The Australian Chamber of Commerce and Industry has expressed concern about the development, arguing the Turnbull government is effectively throttling back the rate of immigration by stealth. Okay, I won't do it by stealth. I'll just come out and say I want to do it. But anyway, the ACCI's chief executive, James Harrison, said last week that there were plenty of studies which demonstrated that strong, well-planned and controlled immigration drives economic growth. Can we see those, please? And
wrong.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a sec, don't worry. A report last December from the London-based Centre of Economics and Business Research found population growth would help propel Australia to become the world's 11th biggest economy, jumping 2 places within a decade. Oh wow, cool. Earlier this year, the Treasury warned that the proposal by the foreign Prime Minister Tony Abbott to slash immigration by 80,000 people would cost the budget $4 billion to $5 billion for over 4 years. Okay, we know where they're going to push on this agenda. This is, it's The Guardian. Of course they're going to claim that. Okay, little immigration facts. High immigration people... for people that don't work, generally cost you and your economy. They cost you when it comes to socials, like for example healthcare, social systems like for example working for the dole or unemployment. They also cost on hospitals, on childcare, public schooling, education systems, just general social systems at large. This is something that Ashil Sargon was just talking about actually in his recent video that went up today, actually, I was watching. He actually debated this with someone, and I believe it was Sargon turned around that said that it was actually the British, was it the British Economic Institute or something like that, or the British Bank, I think it was, that actually admits that mass migration is actually harmful for the economy. Funny the Guardian doesn't link to that article. But yeah, I was going to say at the end of the day, let's face it, most of the people that are coming over here for immigration aren't working. I think it was over in Europe, is it over 55% of them on unemployment benefits? Yeah. I think, yeah.
Yeah.
So
actually, I saw an article that almost 98% of most of the immigrants in Germany are unemployed.
Yeah, I think that's just Germany, though. I think if you...
Yeah, it is just Germany.
Yeah, yeah. If you use the whole, I think it's at 55%. So, look, I know what you're saying in that. I don't want people to turn around and say you just use Germany as an example because it's the worst number. So, well, I'll stick to the...
Of course.
Yeah. But even at... All right, so best case scenario, it's 55%. Worst case scenario, it's 98% in Germany. Either way, it's a shit ton of people that aren't working, that are a drain on your social systems. And Also, there is the magic number 2 of once you start hitting around 55 million, your social systems start to fall apart and collapse. So, running towards it, probably not the best idea. Apart from that, what are your thoughts on this? Do you... well, I know what you're going to say about the 162,000 people that were permanently migrated. What are your thoughts on...
my thoughts is that it's 162,000 too many.
Yeah, I said that too, actually,
but
to be honest.
the other thing too, But the other thing too I find interesting is I love Peter Dutton right now. He's great.
He's pretty based, actually.
That's what. Yeah. And of course I fully agree with everything you said. That when it comes to social systems, you want to bring in people who, are trained, are going to work. They're going to be good for society. Now, of course, that there are certain things talked about in the right that we won't talk about here, but sometimes you want to be a little bit selective beyond that. But other than that, I mean, Peter Dutton's pretty based. He's got he's got the eye on the ball. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
True. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, I think I would like to see the South African farmers over in South Africa come over here. I would like to see them migrate. I would also like to see people that are Christians and whatnot from these war-torn zones where they're a minority. They might be okay to immigrate because of similar cultural views. But apart from that,
things you should look at is ethnic and cultural background. I think they're two main indicators that I would like to see looked at.
Definitely. Yeah. Let's jump into the next article before we get the YouTube channel shut down again. Trump labels European Union a foe. Trump's on fire. President Trump declared in an interview at Sunday that European Union EU is a foe because of its economic policies. Asked by CBS News' Jeff Gore what he considers his biggest foe globally, Trump cited the EU and trade practices before mentioning Russia and China. Trump is based, but anyway, let's keep going. I think we have a lot of foes. I think European Union is a foe. What they did to us in trade. Now I wouldn't think. Now you wouldn't think the European Union, but they're a foe. Trump said from his golf course in Scotland. Well, at least he's still getting to play his golf. Russia is a foe in certain aspects. China is a foe economically. Certainly there are foes, but that doesn't mean they're bad. He continued. It doesn't mean anything. It just means they're competitive. They want to do well and want to do well. Okay. Yeah, I would say EU is definitely a foe. I would definitely say China is definitely a foe for different reasons. I don't know, man. What do you think about the EU and the United States? Do you reckon it's a foe?
Yeah, well, Trump points out that he likes Europe. It's a homeland to him as well, from his background.
Yep.
And what's interesting
Scottish,
is that. Yeah. And so the interesting thing there is that he wants to see Europe succeed, and he sees the EU as a foe to that. I think that's probably what he's trying to say without saying it.
Yeah.
I don't want to put words in his mouth. Maybe he just sees it as no, it's a foe to the US, but it's a foe to the EU too.
Maybe.
To Europe itself.
True. Yeah, I definitely would see it as a foe. I think that they have definitely an alternative motive when it comes to looking after themselves and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I think he also went through and he claims that the European Union and whatnot, mass migration. Didn't he say something about mass migration damaging the fabric of society or something? Trump say something like that, I think.
I'm not sure.
Something like that came across my desk. But yeah, he said something about letting in all these migrants through mass migration is not good for Europe, and actually said that Europe needs to keep its culture. I can see why the left react badly to Trump. I really can.
Yes.
Let me see if I can find that article, actually.
They get down on their knees and they scream at the sky, "No!"
For Europe. See if I can find that article. Okay, so this is... Sorry? Okay.
Yeah, just be right back 1 minute.
Yep. So...
Yeah, you can continue.
Yep, I got two article guys. So he said immigration is a very negative thing for Europe. So President Trump doubled down on his hardline immigration views on Friday, saying he thinks immigration is a very negative thing for Europe and that European leaders better watch themselves because immigration is changing the culture. Whew. How are those shits holding up, buddy? Quote, I know it's politically not necessarily correct to say, but I'll say it and I'll say it loud, Trump said during a joint press conference with British Prime Minister Theresa May. Quote, I think it's very bad for Europe. I think Europe is a place I know very well, and I think what has happened is very tough. It's a very tough situation, Trump said. I just think that changing the culture is a very negative thing for Europe. Whew, Trump is definitely based, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So?
And the shields are completely down, and we are starting to lose integrity of the warp core containment field. It's down to 65%, so watch it.
Yeah, we probably should, fly through the sun and get out the other side on this one. But yeah,
at this point, yeah, just go straight in.
It's you or me, son. But anyway, but yeah, at the end of the day, yeah. But moving along, because yeah, apparently we have a what call breach. So moving along.
We're nearly there. Oh, Trump is awesome. What a based guy.
Yeah. There's just a comment actually. Someone wrote, Judge Chan wrote, it was awesome when he shot down Jim Acosta. Yeah, I actually did a video earlier in the week on that. That was very funny indeed. That was very funny actually. The West is in midst of an identity crisis. Oh, Jesus Christ.
What a week, huh?
Oh boy, this is going to teach me not to search these articles again, isn't it? As the economy has improved, popular concern, both here and abroad, has shifted to the issue of immigration and identity. Just last year, immigration, according to Gallup, was seen as an almost important issue by barely 5% of the population, while the economy was cited as more than 4 times as many. But now, immigration and undocumented aliens is now the biggest concern to 15% of the population, equal to that of the economy. I'm presuming they're talking about America here, is it?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Actually,
I would say.
Maybe not, actually. You can't blame Donald Trump and his focus for that issue for some of this, but Trump did not create the long mountain immigration pressures, including 200,000 unaccompanied children during President Obama's last term. Okay, so yeah, it definitely seems like it's the US. Nor is he responsible for growing opposition almost 3-to-1 to mass immigration among Europeans. Unrestricted EU immigration helped drove Brexit in the UK, opened Italy politics, and sent many traditional centrist voters elsewhere flocking to anti-immigrant parties, including some on the extreme quasi-fascist right. Moving along. the move towards what the Guardian ominously calls Fortress Europe could even death throw the current Queen of the EU and the much praised great humanitarian Angela Merkel. Oh. Sorry, Merkel. I'm sorry I stopped. Alright. At the end of the day, not touching on this one too much because apparently we're down to 50% now for the warp core. Yeah, let's just move on to the next one. Look. Yeah.
To be honest, I thought these were actually pretty milquetoast, but
when you start reading them out, you're like, oof, woof, oh boy. Look, at the end of the day, I'm glad that Americans are less worried about the economy. That proves that Trump is doing a real good job with the economy. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yes.
Right? Because that would be why less people care about that now. Right? Now that nothing else at all. It's the economy is doing good. So we're just not focusing on that so much. Right? That's yeah. Is anybody else believing this by this stage, or no, me neither. Look, at the end of the day, look, immigration is obviously a big thing. It is a big concern for Italy. It's a big concern for Slovenia. It's a big concern for the UK. It's a big concern for Sweden. It's a big concern for Australia and America. It's a big concern for Poland. It's a big concern for Hungary. Big concern for Czech Republic. Hell, even Croatia I'm
getting an impression about something in common with these countries, but I mean, I'll just move on.
Yeah, even Croatia. We even had a fellow Croatian who, he wasn't too keen on immigration policies either, really, was he? Without going into details, because, we're down to 45% for the warp core now. We're about to explode. But, yeah, moving along. Anything else you want to comment before we pull the ejection cord on this? No? Let's just move on to the next one.
I'll eject the core on time, don't worry.
Theresa May's secret cloak and dagger plot to foil Brexit revealed by minister who quits in protest. Boy, if the deep state didn't want me dead already. Let's jump into this one. Theresa May has presided over a cloak and dagger plot to undermine Brexit in a move that will blow apart public trust in democracy, the Prime Minister's former Brexit minister has told The Telegraph. Is this guy still alive or is he dead by now? What do you reckon? Steve Barker, who will probably be dead in a few days.
He's probably throwing up black liquid as we speak.
Yeah, probably. Bloody Russians using the toxic nerve gas on him again, probably. Because it wasn't from
that was an X-Files theme.
Oh, okay.
The black liquid.
Yeah. Well, I was actually talking about the when they tried to claim that it was the Russians that used that nerve gas on that Russian spy, and it ended up being that the nerve gas was actually developed over in the Netherlands or something like that. But anyway, Steve Barker, who quit Steve Barker, who quit the government along with his boss David Davis, last Saturday said he resigned after discovering that for months an establishment elite, oh boy, had secretly been pursuing a plan for a much softer Brexit than the one which he and Mr. Davis had been working. The move effectively renowned the Brexit department a Pomplacking, I'm not sure what that is, but anyway, structure to distract from what the Cabinet Office Europe Union was doing for the Prime Minister, he added. Oh boy, what a shock. This is behind a paywall. Is anybody shocked about that? I'll see if I can find...
As long as they get to say they reported on it.
Yeah. Don't worry. We reported on this. You might have been able to see it because it was behind a paywall, but we reported on it. Okay. Everybody has paywalled this thing. You were not going to believe it, are you? Actually.
Goodness gracious.
Let me enable on this site. If I disable my ad blocker, sorry guys, I'm just trying to get the full story. No, still paywalled.
I take it you don't pay for paywalls live on stream, do you?
No, probably not on that one. Guys, I might actually go through and do that as a separate story, because that does need a lot of attention. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Alright, let's jump into the next one, because that's actually quite an important story. Donald Trump, everybody wants me to run in 2020. Yes, we do actually want you to rerun in 2020. Yes, if you don't, I would actually probably do a leftist moment and cry. President Trump confirmed... I'm joking, but... anyway. President Trump confirmed he plans on running for re-election in 2020 in an interview with Piers Morgan. Another 4 years. It seems like everybody wants me to, Trump said in the interview, which he was published Sunday. When the president was asked about the potential Democratic challenges and if he thought any of them had a chance to beat him, he said, "No, I don't see anybody. I know them all and I don't see anybody." Oh boy. But anyway. Morgan's interview...
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Morgan's interview took place on Air Force One during one of President Trump's flights around the United Kingdom. Many Democrats have been linked to a prominent 2020 campaign, including Senators Elizabeth Warren, okay, you want to go there, from Massachusetts, Bernie Sanders from Vermont. Bernie Sanders cannot run, I'll get to that in a sec, and Kamala Harris from California. Former Vice President Biden has also considered a run, but is set to decide after November's midterm elections. Hillary Clinton has also been linked to the nominations as well. Oh boy. Okay.
She probably won't be alive.
Hillary?
Or in prison.
She'll be in prison. Hopefully. Alright. Do I think Trump should run in 2020? Yes. Am I concerned he won't run? Yes. Do I think any of these people have a chance to beat him? No. Elizabeth Warren is literally known as Pocahontas because of the president. He has already discredited her so much. They literally have nothing right now. Bernie Sanders cannot run because he is actually listed as an independent. And the Democrats thought that they would get smart and change the laws in regards to the DNC. According to the new rules of the DNC now, you cannot run as an independent and then switch over to being a Democrat. So Bernie Sanders has actually been ruled out by the DNC. Kamala Harris from California, I have no idea who that is, so that says a lot. Former Vice President Biden, he would probably be the most serious contender, and even then, I'm going to say he's got nothing. And Hillary Clinton, please, for the love of God, run Hillary Clinton. To be honest, the Biden, he's probably the most serious challenger out of this. He's probably the one that could probably do anything, if anything at all. What are your thoughts?
Nah, Trump would still beat him.
Yeah, I'm not saying Trump wouldn't win. I'm just saying he's probably the most serious contender.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anybody in the DNC, I guess, but it's pointless either way.
Hmm.
They may as well get a Hollywood actor or actress, do something like that, and they'd still lose.
Hmm. Yeah, at the end of the day, look, even their poster boy, or girl actually, poster girl over in the Bronx, she can't run because she's too young. She can't run for another 12 or something years or 14 years. So, you know.
Wow. The DNC is a broken party.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, well, this is the problem. They're all they had was Hillary Clinton, and they banked on that. They didn't have any up and coming talent. They don't have any up and coming talent, not for another 10 or 12 years now. Judge Chan says in chat, Dem's got nothing. Judge Chan says hashtag Pelosi Waters 2020. Let's go, with a smiley face. That would be actually kind of funny, actually.
The only thing we have to worry about with Trump is the fact that he's quite old, and, you know, God forbid, he could drop dead.
Well, yeah, I'm not worried about that, because he had that health physical, and they said he was in perfect condition. Now, it could be propaganda, but I would imagine that the people that are looking after the president would have him very, very healthy. They would be, yeah.
Well, he still walks around, runs around, all that stuff. Like
he still plays golf, dude.
Man.
He still plays golf and plays tennis. 71-year-old or something that plays tennis. Like, god damn, you know, 72 now. I think he turned 72 the other week. So I'm not worried about that.
I'm sure he has another term left in him.
Oh yeah. My concern is what we're going to do after that. That's the real concern.
Oh, yeah. Well, we both know some guy who wants to run. That's hilarious.
Some guy.
You know, a bomb.
Oh,
he wants to run.
No. Not going to happen.
Nah, he's not going to run. Well, he will, but nothing will come of it.
That in itself is going to be a shit show, but anyway. But okay, but yeah, at the end of the day, after Trump, that is my concern. What we do for 2028, that's what we need to start looking at that now for the Republican Party. 2020 is already pretty much in the bag, from my understanding of what's going to happen in the midterms, and unless something radically changes over the next 2 years, 2020 is already in the bag for Trump.
Yeah.
So my concern is what we do in 2024 and 2028 and then on. That's my concern. But anyway, apart from that, look, I if I was the Republican Party, I'd start looking at young people that can go through and actually take that reign, and
whatever they want.
But anyway, let's jump into the next story. I
have my hand on the eject button. It's all good.
Okay. All right. Paraplegic man zip ties and tases a stripper for refusing him sex. A man paralyzed from the waist down zip tied and tasered a stripper because she refused to have sex with him, police said. Can we just ask what... Dude, okay. Public service announcement. If you're going bald, shave your head. When you've got more hair on your face than you do on the top of your head, having crusty the sideburns sort of look, not a good thing. Right? Yeah, mightn't... Just saying, but anyway. Johnny Thompson, 31, of Dancar, Georgia, hired the exotic dancer to come to his home, which he shares with his parents. Oh boy. And allegedly threatened the woman at gunpoint before forcing her into a room with cameras ordering her to remove her clothes and binding her ankles using zip ties, the Daily Mail reported. How did he reach the ankles?
I don't know. Are you sure this isn't fake news?
It's Breitbart. It has to be. Well, no. It's definitely weird.
This goes in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Anyway, Thompson then allegedly demanded that the woman have sex with him. The woman then fought back. Thompson fired his taser at her 2 times, police said. He fired a taser at her not once but twice in the chest. Well, normally with strippers there's a lot to hit. The WK County Police Department's Chris Turpin told WSB. She started to struggle with her captor. He pulled out the handgun and fired 2 shots at her. Is it a handgun or a taser? The exotic dancer managed to break free from the zip ties, escaped through the window, and called 911. Police arrived at the scene to find him Police arrived at the scene to find the half-naked woman with prongs from the taser stuck in her chest. Authorities arrested Thompson and charged him with aggravated assault, false imprisonment, according to Derby County Jail records. Officers say they found additional zip ties and a machete during the search of Thompson's home. Thompson reportedly told the police the exotic dancer went crazy and he had to defend himself against her attacks. Authorities say Thompson has a history of other exotic dancers claiming he abused them, and then taking that history into account to search for other potential victims. An incident that took part 3 months ago, one exotic dancer filed a police report against Thompson alleging he assaulted her. I'm guessing he probably did it then.
He's a crazy man.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, the top comment for this story: I've seen his defense. He doesn't have a leg to stand on.
That's awesome.
Somebody else replied, nobody can stand him. A man paralyzed from the waist down, zip-tied and tasered a stripper because she refused to have sex with him. That's how he rolls. Oh my god, that's how he rolls. Oh. I'm going to get a sound effect board one day when YouTube actually starts paying me for my videos. I'm going to put the rim shots in, I swear. Oh boy. Alright, bad jokes aside. Dude, shave your head, okay? Really, the Krusty the Clown look, it's probably why you're having to pay prostitutes to have sex with you. As for that, I want to know how a man in a wheelchair manages to zip ties a prostitute's or a exotic dancer's legs together. Yeah, that I have no idea on that one, but anyway. I'm speechless. What, you got anything? Have you got anything you want to add on this, or did we just go to the next one?
I'm actually I'm curious when he's trying to zip tie her. He's got her at a gunpoint, right?
Right.
You need 2 hands to do a zip tie, so he has to put the gun somewhere.
Yep.
Why didn't she try to escape when he didn't have the gun in his hand?
That's a very good question. I'm speechless. It's a really good question, isn't it? Also, I want to know too.
I smell an accomplice.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that actually. That's what I was just about to say. Do you think there was an accomplice? Also, on this, how did he reach the ankles?
Yeah, accomplice maybe. Something's going on there.
He lives with his parents. I think the parents might be in on it.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe maybe the parents rolled on in too.
Oh my god. I tell you what. At least he doesn't have a job as a person in an ass kicking contest. At least.
Oh god.
Yeah, you know the Special Olympics. I've
Yeah.
heard the hardest part about that is the hurdles. Bang, bang, bang. All right.
All right. Well, let's. I think we've deflated the tires on this one. Let's move on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's get out of here like a long jump in the Special Olympics. All right. Moving on to the next one. Anti-Trump paraglider who flew meters away from the president was arrested because it's illegal, people. Okay?
What a strange week.
Oh boy. I come for the stories and I stay for the lols. But anyway, before we jump into the story, producer, hey producer, welcome, join us, thanks. You can use a lasso zip tie. Oh boy. I like Slipknot one. I like a Slipknot one. Oh boy. If it's a big enough zip tie, man, wrangling some strippers. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going with this. A 55-year-old man was arrested Sunday in connection to the protests that saw him paraglide within meters of President Trump as he visited his golf course in Scotland on Friday, officials say. The man, not yet identified, was spotted breaching a no-fly zone, carrying a banner reading, "Trump well below par." That's actually kind of funny, actually. But anyway, as he flew just meters past the US leader at his Turnaby resort in Ayrshire. Police Scotland can confirm the 55-year-old man has been arrested in connection with an incident when a powered parachute was flown in the vicinity of the Turnaby Hotel at around 9:45 p.m. on Friday. He wouldn't have seen it. It would have been dark. Friday the 13th of July 2018. Well, it's kind of unlucky for him that day, wouldn't it? A spokesperson told The Independent. No further details were released. The stunt, orchestrated by the environmental group Greenpeace, was slammed by police who claimed the man had placed himself in grave danger as snipers watched from the hotel roof. Oh boy. Police say the protesters breached the no-fly zone over the hotel and committed a criminal offence. But the environmental group said it had informed police about the stunt before it took place. Footage of the incident shows Trump cutting across the grass, quickly heading to the entrance of the resort soon after the glider appeared. Trump and his wife Melania are spending the weekend out of the spotlight at his Scottish golf course in Turnaby on the western coast ahead of the summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Helsinki on Monday. All right.
First question.
Yep.
No, they did not inform the police because the police would not have allowed that.
Well, okay, so that's a little bit of a grey area. They said they informed the police. They didn't say the police okayed it.
Word games, I see.
Yeah, word games. It's the left. Well, I don't know. I don't know. This is a little bit of a funny troll. Do you think he's a left or a rightist or a centrist?
I have no idea. I mean, Greenpeace, it's left, right?
Well, normally, yeah.
Well, progressive. They're progressives.
But it's a funny one.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a pretty funny troll. I'll pay that troll. Not literally, okay? Homeland Security. I didn't pay him, all right? But at the end of the day, I would pay that for a joke. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's an okay joke. Yeah, it's an okay joke, but...
It's the funniest we've seen the left in almost 2 years.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
Although I do think the election night jokes from the left were kind of funny. I like the joke that Cenk made on the election night. Did you hear that joke? You know that? No?
No, I don't usually watch Jenk.
Okay. So the Young Turks had a bit of a joke going on Sunday night, on the election night for 2016. The going joke was the Young Turks.
What?
The Young Turks, they were themselves the joke. Basically what happened was the Young Turks went through and before the election basically big noted themselves, going on about how Hillary was going to win. There was no way Trump was going to lose. It's going to win. That Hillary, it was in the bag. And throughout the night, the joke literally was on them. I might actually the Young Turks. It is the second result when you search for the Young Turks election. It is the first result for the Young Turks meltdown. So I might actually show. I open up on my circle. And we can watch this. Oof, that one goes for 26 minutes.
Yeah.
This one goes for 7.
Alright,
That's
don't worry
better.
about it.
No, this one goes for 7.
Okay.
Okay. If you haven't seen this, dude, you've got to watch it. It is really freaking good.
Okay.
All right.
Give me just 20 seconds to.
Oh, okay. You're on your phone, are you?
I can get it open quickly.
Yeah, no worries.
Did you post it in the thing for me?
Yeah, I'll post it for you now. If anybody wants to join us in chat, let's do it a little bit interactive. Let's make it a family affair while we all laugh at the left. That is the My Circle link. Feel free to join us. Why the hell not? Let's open it up.
Okay. I've got one ready.
Yep.
And now for me. And come on. You can do it fine. Come on. Okay, there we go.
Alright, let's get... Alright, 7 minutes, people. This is priceless. This will probably get me a copyright strike. But, dude, you can have... don't worry, this video is not going to be monetized anyway. Let's go.
Welcome to the Young Turks special election day coverage! Regular show dropping!
And one in
So
Nebraska.
you even have Wisconsin and Minnesota, which is, come on.
It just means that we can take them off a more fun part of the board.
Also,
and give them to Hillary Clinton. But yeah, I got you. We could obviously move those over to Hillary Clinton right now if you want.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's Wisconsin.
Look, this election is over, okay? And Trump cannot win. He can't win for a number of reasons. I mean, putting aside his xenophobia, racism, sexism, and all that gets Latinos and other groups to vote in large numbers. He's incompetent. He's just flat out incompetent. So I always thought this election was over a long time ago because you don't just make up that ground game in an instant. That takes months and months of preparation, which he never did. Well, I think Hillary will have 320 electoral votes when it's all said and done, plus or minus 5. So I never bought into your fear-mongering.
I think that most of us at this point are actually doing really well with predictions, despite our during the primaries being so far off. I think one thing is that for the most part, general elections, there's some really great data, give or take a couple states where polling isn't great. But for the most part, I mean, listen, yes, there's going to be the secret Trump voter. There's also going to be the secret Hillary voter. And every qualified pollster I've spoken to realizes that those numbers pretty much cancel each other out. So I think it's going to be a big win for Hillary.
And those last-minute polls that had swung in Hillary Clinton's direction gave us I don't know about you guys, it gave me a little bit of relief, right? Because I was worried that it was tightening over the weekend, and then the surge did not come for Trump, according to the polling. It came for Hillary Clinton. Now, right now, there isn't anything too much to be worried about. she could lose Florida, by the way, and Ohio and North Carolina, and still win.
Virginia.
Is it just me, or does it seem like he's already starting to make excuses for her losing certain seats?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get going.
Yeah, 10% reporting.
Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. Buckle up.
54-41.
Trump.
Yeah. Just what we, yeah.
No.
161,000, 123,000.
No. I'm now actually worried. I'm not kidding. I'll tell you, look, it got quiet in here the minute we started reporting these real results.
Yep.
And if that continues, there is going to be a pall in here.
So we're about halfway done with counting in Florida, getting close to halfway done, and Trump with a 100,000 vote lead. That's a lot of early votes.
Rate that has already changed. So Ben, what's the latest in Florida? What is the percentage?
49.8, 2.5 points, 2.4 point lead for Hillary.
She has a 2.4 point lead. Everybody.
Yes.
Don't panic. She's here comes Hillary. Okay, so if you are on Trump team right now, you're panicking. You had the same moment we had about 20 minutes ago, where you're like, wait a minute, she's not only up in Florida, but she's up in New Hampshire and Ohio and North Carolina.
All right, just before we keep going, the Young Turks looking very smug right about there, aren't they?
Yeah, they think they're going to win.
Spoiler alert, they don't. Let's keep going.
Electoral College right now, 60-44. Donald Trump is retaking the lead from Hillary Clinton. That part is totally irrelevant.
So he got a 9-stater. Who did they?
That part is totally. Did he just say that part is totally irrelevant when he's winning?
Yeah.
Who did they call? Alabama. Following we didn't declare Tennessee, but now Alabama has gone.
Tennessee and Alabama have gone to Donald Trump. This is devastating.
Okay, so Trump there has 63% of the votes.
Yep.
Holy shit.
It was a landslide victory for Trump.
Holy damn.
Yeah.
Dating news / irrelevant. Back on the Young Turks election coverage, I have two things to report. One, it's panic time. Two, I'm on my third cup of coffee. Now shit gets real.
Wow, it just dropped 5%.
Okay,
So the calculation, hold on,
yeah,
this is serious. So the calculation that the New York Times has had as a running prediction of winning the presidency. Last time I glanced at it, John, I don't know if you've been looking at that win presidency meter below the states, below the map. Well, it was it was at 80% an hour ago for Clinton.
What is it now?
68%.
Okay, God damn it, I'm nervous. It is fucking panic time. New Hampshire has flipped. He's now leading 48-47. So he's leading in Florida, Virginia, New Hampshire, North Carolina, and Ohio is now an 8-point lead for Trump.
Here's what just happened, and this thing was at 80% 2 hours ago when we were talking the upshot in the New York Times forecast of who's likely to win. Donald Trump, now the favorite to win the presidency, 51%.
Jesus.
Some guys are winning. Trump now at 53% forecast to be the president of the United States. It increases literally with every moment that a state like Virginia gets closer to being called for Trump.
This is the most haunting thing I have ever
Look at Anna. Look at Anna Kasparian. Yeah. She is just like, I cannot believe this. This is a nightmare. I am in a dream. I want to wake up right now. Just look at her reaction. She's just like, we are so screwed.
It's beautiful.
It really is. I'm going to keep playing and turn this header off, so keep playing.
The Young Turks.
Okay.
14 years we've been on the air. Nobody else has called it yet. I'm calling it. It's a 10-point lead with 51% reporting, 53-43 for Trump. Trump's going to win Ohio. So Ohio is now gone. Okay. Now I've got my New York Times likelihood of winning updating because I had to switch out and refresh on my iPad here. Trump, and it goes, and it kept going. It's like 50, 51, 52, 50. 61% chance of winning for Donald Trump.
This is insane.
Oh, wow. For the Trump presidency, brace for impact. New York Times now saying the chance of a Trump presidency is 92%. The terror. The terror. Well, you know, we call this place Rebel Headquarters, and we were rebelling against the establishment.
You are the establishment. Oh my freaking god! You are the establishment. You are backed by the elites.
Yes.
Jank, who pays your electricity bill? Who pays for your nice shiny desk? Who pays for all those iPads and those laptops on those desks there? Who pays for that big ass monitor behind you? Holy goddamn, is he really that? Anyway, let's keep going. I'm sorry.
And now this will be true Rebel Headquarters as Trump and his cronies begin their march against our freedoms. Talk about how historically pathetic the Democratic Party is. The Democratic Party is gone. Before the election, we talked about, oh, there might be a Republican Civil War. I didn't talk about it, but the rest of the press couldn't stop talking about it. Oh, what will the Republicans do, right? No. The question is, what's the Democratic Party going to do to rise from the ashes? Because they are in ashes. And I'll tell you this right now, we are in total fucking war, okay? I'm not talking about the Republican Party. Yeah, sure, I'm happy to be at war with them. I'm happy to be at war with Trump, and it looks like I'm going to be for 4 years. But I'm at war with the Democratic Party, this corporatist, weak, spineless, pathetic party. So the DNC, you think we're coming for you? You're goddamn right we're coming for you. We're gonna pulverize the DNC. We're gonna rip it to shreds so that none of those idiot loser corporatists could ever screw up an election like this again. New York Times now has it at 95% chance that Donald Trump North Carolina has been called. This goes to Donald Trump. And Wisconsin and Michigan still leaning red. Brought to you by the fucking morons at the Democratic Party.
Oh boy, he was pissed.
Did you see Anna? She had the most sour, desperate look on her face ever.
Oh yeah. So, buddy Roman firm invests $4 million into the Young Turks network, and the Young Turks will double its staff with $20 million in a round of funding led by the growth equity firm L3 Capital, and additional investors included VC firm. So yeah, this is the establishment. They might sit there and like to think that they're not the establishment, but they are. They really are. But anyway. Alright, we probably should wrap this up sooner or later. Yeah, I just saw your comment then that we, anyway. Oof, boy, we've still got a lot of articles too. Alright, let's do something a little light and somewhat clickbaity. People are donating money to Kylie Jenner so she can become the youngest billionaire. I went off this ride.
I hear you.
You know they're only doing this because she's female, right?
What?
If this was a male that was doing this, the leftists wouldn't care. They wouldn't care as much.
I thought... never mind.
Now, people are donating money, right? Who do you think is donating the money to her? It's predominantly leftists, right?
Wait, Kylie Jenner is a female?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Dude, she's all woman.
Okay.
Yeah. It's that vagina privilege that we keep hearing about.
Yeah, but like I thought Jenner was born the other side, the opposite.
No. That's the father. That's Bruce Jenner and Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh, okay.
Kylie Jenner is the sister to, stepsister actually. I believe.
Okay. I follow.
Yeah, she's like 21.
I didn't know.
She's like 21 or something.
I didn't know there was family with a similar name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now that everybody in chat has realised that Satellite has no idea on pop culture, let's jump into the story. A few days ago, Forbes magazine, that's not a shot at him either, by the way. I only know about this because I've already read up about it. Forbes magazine broke the news that broke the news to us that Kylie Jenner could potentially be the youngest ever self-made billionaire. How are you a self-made billionaire when you literally got famous off your sister's sex tape and you are literally getting people to donate to you? But regardless, revealing that she's ranked a whopping 900 million or 679 million pounds from her cosmetic company that she got because of her sister's and her family's sex tape. Moving along. That's right, she needs a cool 100 million to reach billionaire status. And some people are so eager to help reach it that they are donating money to her in a crowdfunding campaign. I honestly wish I was making this something or rather up. Yeah, me too, buddy. The GoFundMe campaign, which was set up by Instagram star Josh Kozlowski, I might be mispronouncing. He goes by the nickname The Fat Something or Other. Obviously, it all sounds like it's just a bit of piss take. I don't want to live in a world where Kylie Jenner doesn't have $1 billion. We must raise $100 million to help her get to $1 billion. Please spread the word. This is extremely important. But people have actually been donating the money. Oh boy. While most of the donations are only about $5 or £3.80, one anonymous person has gone for $1,000. But so far the campaign has only just tipped over the $2,000 mark, meaning it looks pretty unlikely it should be getting her mega money anytime soon. Plus, if you think about it, if it's general public giving her a 100 million handout, she'll no longer be able to claim that she was self-made. Well, that was my argument, but anyway. Although it's something that people have already questioned, with one person tweeting, she is very opposite of self-made. Yeah, your sister got you famous because of her sex tape. Another one added, I'm not discrediting her success, but hardly self-made. Sure, she works hard, she earns her success, but she was given the platform and had one hell of a capital to start up. The cover was the first share on the Forbes Instagram account with the caption, Kylie Jenner is on track to become the world's youngest self-made millionaire, even ahead of Mark Zuckerberg, who became a billionaire at age 23. Yeah, I think she's 21 or 22. It added, find out how she built a $900 million fortune in less than 3 years. Hashtag self-made women. Oh, God. All right, moving along. All right, Kylie's sister Kim also shared the cover twice, writing, wait, I'm posting this again just because $1 billion, baby. All right, what's your view on her being self-made? Do you reckon she is, or?
No.
Yeah, I think that at the end of the day, I don't think we really have to worry about this GoFundMe, because I just checked it, and apparently it's only raised $1,758.
Good.
Yes. Although, I don't know, it could be a way to discredit her from being self-made if she gets the handout.
Yeah, she's not self-made anyway.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day,
self-made is like Elon Musk or Bill Gates, that type of stuff. Yeah, you work hard.
Yeah, I would say Zuckerberg. I don't like him. I think he's a robot. Jokes. But, well, robot, reptilian, depending on what you believe. But at the end of the day, I had to throw that in for you. But at the end of the day, I would say, look, I don't like Mark Zuckerberg or Zuckerberg, but at the end of the day, he's self-made. So credit to him for doing it, I suppose. As for her, let's face it, she used her name to sell cosmetics, and the name she had was because of her sister's sex tape. So, you know, not really self-made, is it? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything left to put on this, or what do you reckon? Anything else? No. I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the chat. Do you reckon she's self-made, or yeah? Do you think it's a little bit of a cop-out? Let us know what your thoughts are. All right. Right, behind bars for 2 murders, and he's running for U.S. Senate seat in Minnesota. Oof. He's going to have a killing good time, isn't he? A Minnesota man serving a life sentence without parole after being convicted of 2 murders is now vying for the U.S. Senate seat. Leonard Richards, 75, has found a loophole that allowed him to legally run for federal office despite his criminal record. Minnesota law bars felons from running from Senate-level offices, but does not prevent them from seeking federal positions. Oh, okay. Richards was found guilty of killing his half-sister, Mae Wilson, in 1982 and fatally shooting his lawyer, Robert Straffen, 5 years later. He is now seeking a nomination for Minnesota's Democratic Farmer Labor DFL party, which holds its primary on August the 14th. Richards is looking to upset the U.S. Senate Amy Klobuchar, might be mispronouncing, who has held the seat since 2007. With his candidacy which, while legal, has arranged Stratton's sister, who has told the Star Tribune of Minnesota that she hopes voters take the time to learn about Richards' crimes before they cast a vote. Quote, I know he won't win against Amy Klobuchar, might be mispronouncing, but even one vote for this murderer is too many, she told the newspaper. He's going to fit in well with the Democratic Party, at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when they have Hillary Clinton, they can just, you know, she can just bunk with him.
True. They can share a cell, maybe.
Yeah. I'm just confused, though. Like, how do you go to your Senate seat and sit in when you're in prison? That's confusing.
Well, this is presuming he wins. But this is the thing, too. If he wins, is he able to change laws to get him out? Could that be his gameplay?
I have no idea. Maybe the guy's bored.
No, probably. He's in jail. He's been in jail for God knows what, 20 years or so. At the end of the day, he also might use it as leverage too. Sure, I'll resign. I'll give you my seat. You let me out of jail. It's quite a genius plan, really. If that's his plan.
If he wins and gets the seat. Yeah.
True. And of course, mainstream media is obviously going to go through and help him win too, because they're talking about him now. So.
Oh dear. Of course, the mainstream media would do strange things like that.
Anyway, let's get going because we're like hitting over the 2-hour mark, and yeah, this is like going to be a really long one. Really long video. People spot huge difference between Trump's meeting and with the Queen and Obama's. Obama's standing next to her like a little lapdog, and the Trump is like, I'm an alpha male, you... Yeah. I don't know. Let's go through and have a look. Unless you missed the giant baby blimp, hundreds of thousands of protesters, or painful footage of Theresa May holding his hand, you'll have noticed that President Trump landed on our island. He felt unwelcomed, with the 77% of Brits having an unfavourable view with him. He quite clearly is. Okay, that doesn't make sense. And I don't think 77% of Brits have an unfavourable position of Trump. But anyway. So, it wasn't only the level of protest that put Trump's world... Sorry. It wasn't only the level of protest that put Trump's visit world apart from Obama's. The first was the fact that Obama never snubs the Queen twice within the first 15 minutes of the meeting. One thing about both supporters and denigrators of Trump can agree on is that he has a huge ego, one of the biggest egos he might tell you. Oh, funny. You just have to imagine his ego wouldn't stretch so far as to disrespect the Queen of England, though. But that's exactly what happened upon his meeting with the most respected woman on the planet. I think that's a bit of a stretch. All right, let's have a look at what this video does.
Yeah.
You want me to talk?
Okay, I can't see anything wrong with this. Can you? Did you watch this video?
Doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't bow.
Well, actually, he sort of technically does a little bit, a tiny little bit. He sort of does like a very quick one.
Well, if you look at Obama, whenever he visits anybody, he would always bow, and he would do like a full-on, like, all the way down, you know?
Yeah.
But the thing is that the President of the United States shouldn't do that.
No, well, he's equal.
And yes, and especially not to the Queen. And the reason for that is because America fought their war of independence to get away from the Queen.
Yeah.
So the last thing that an American president should do is bow to the Queen.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree, actually.
Putting that up.
Look, obviously, look, at the end of the day, it's nice to do it and shake their hand, whatever, sure, whatever. But at the end of the day, he has no obligation to do it. And from what I saw in this video, it actually looks like he started walking forward, he stopped, did a very quick bow. It's like he... I'm not shitting on Trump, don't get me wrong, but it looks like he didn't know the procedure. And he stuffed it up, or he stuffed up the order, or whatever it was, or he stuffed up the timing. And that's probably why he didn't... Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's Trump, though. He's a bit of a buffoon sometimes.
Yeah.
We love this buffoon.
Exactly. And I was going to say, at the end of the day, I don't think this is a big thing. I think this is a bit of fake news from, well, BBC/Unilad, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I used to like Unilad like many years ago.
Yeah.
And then they went lefty.
Yeah, I was going to say they're definitely left in this one. That's for sure. Although they do link, it's to their own medical. I think this is fake news. I think he just stuffed up the timing, and that's what happened. I don't think it was deliberate. But yeah, and I don't think 77% of the population has an unfavorable opinion. And the reason why I'm saying that is because of this next story that we're going to talk about, which is Trump supporters turn out in London a day after a protest. So thousands of Trump supporters and right-wing activists took to the nation's capital on Saturday, a day after anti-Trump protesters had dominated the city. While the displays of right-wing supporters were nowhere near as large as the enormous anti-Trump march that demanded the international media attention the day before, it was still a significant show of support for Trump from those eager to counter the claim that Trump had been unanimously rejected by Britons. So at the end of the day, I don't think it actually says the number of people that were there. Actually, I have... Let me just send a message to someone.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on this while I'm typing this up?
Good on them for doing their counter protest, and I mean they're trying to say that it's nowhere near as much. I can't really comment on that because they said the same thing about Trump's inaugural, which they clearly lied. So, I mean, it's hard to know. I wasn't there. I would have to look up some footage to see what it looks like, the difference, and kind of go from there. But to be honest, I'd say that the way that Europe in general is going, I'd say these days the support for Trump would be higher than the support for for the anti-Trump support. That's sort of my opinion, anyway.
Okay, so I'm actually messaging someone that actually was there.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if he'll respond. He's currently over there at the moment. He's on, yeah, but we'll find out. And he'll be non-partisan, so to speak.
Good.
I'll type in chat for you who I'm talking to, so you get the idea.
All right. Oh, okay.
So he'll let me know. Hopefully, anyway, if he responds. You might even see the message. Who knows? Let's keep going. As for this, yeah, I don't think I think the media is playing up the whole Trump's not welcome thing. I would love to know the actual real response to this. Personally, I would be very surprised if it was 77% of people. I think it would look up probably 50-50, maybe 40-60. But I don't think it's 77%. I think that's a lot of crap.
Yeah. They it's like if a lefty publication polls, lefties, of course they're going to get this kind of response.
Yeah, exactly. Apart from that, let's just jump into the next story because we got to keep going. We talked about Stephen Bannon call for Tommy Robinson, haven't we?
I think so.
Yeah. All right. Another Unilad article. Mum says she's proud of her 11-year-old son is a drag queen. How are those shields holding up, bro?
We did get some time to recharge.
All right. A mum has said that she's extremely proud of her A mum has said that she's extremely proud of her trailblazing 11-year-old son who has come out as a drag queen. Let me guess, she watched a TV show and then thought it'd be cool. Lauren Noakes always suspected that her son, Leo, was different from the other boys in this year. But even she didn't realise how courageous and strong her son truly was. Oh boy. Leo is an extremely brave little boy who, despite his taunts of bullies and the question of confused adults, openly identifies as male, but enjoys wearing feminine clothing and makeup to school and home. His mum first realised Leo was different when he was a toddler. Lauren claims that he was intensely interested in feminine clothes and would watch Transfix as she chose clothes and did her hair and put her makeup on. Oof. Oh boy.
Where's this kid's father? What? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's hasn't been a mention of one in this, has there?
Of course there isn't. Because if there was a father, this wouldn't be happening.
Let's keep going. She told the Mirror she first believed that it was just a phase or novelty and that she grew out of it, or he grew out of it. even when asked Lauren's friends for their hand-me-downs. Over time, however, Lauren's insecurities began to play on her mind and she became worried about Leo. Quote, I was careful not to make an issue of it, and the last thing I wanted was to shame Leo, but to be honest, I think it was a bit strange. I questioned whether it was my influence. Back then, I liked Rihanna and Beyonce. When was he picking up on them? I had no idea how to handle it. My partner San and I got together when Leo was 3. Oh, interesting, isn't it? So until then, he had no father figure. How's those shields holding up, buddy?
Well enough to say that if Sam is in the picture, he's probably a massive cuck.
Yeah. I feel guilty for the part I played, and when my friend warned I was making Leo gay, and then he may have not have had a happy life, I was crushed. Although I never discriminated, I hated the idea of making Leo's life difficult. Worried for his son when he turned 6, she threw away his dress-up clothes and asked friends and families to instead nurture his other interest of cars. This briefly worked, but eventually Lauren noticed he was still interested in fashion and beauty. Things came to a head when a friend informed her that she'd seen Leo watching... Do I have to say it? But seen Leo watching Drum Paul's Drag Race. Shocked
oh my God.
that her son was watching such an adult program in secret, she blamed Leo for watching it and then deleted the Netflix app from his iPad. However, Leo pleaded with his mum to let him watch the show, and seeing how passionate he felt about it, she relented after having a discussion about what is and isn't appropriate to talk about. John Paul's Drag Race gave Leo the confidence he needed as well as others, allowing him to use that he wasn't alone in his interest and to start wearing feminine clothing in the house, but he didn't feel brave enough to go out just yet. Okay, I'm done with this article, I really am, before I smash my monitor. Look, at the end of the day, as for this kid, yeah, it is entirely possible that he is trans. Yes, there is a small percentage of people that are trans. Hashtag not all. However, lack of father figure in the industry or around for the first 3 years. He obviously had an interest in cars, so he identifies as a boy. He's just a cross-dresser. That's all he is. He's not trans. He's just a cross-dresser.
You can't be trans at that age.
No. And do you really believe the mother's account of the story, or do you think the mother is rewriting history because she doesn't want to get the label of someone who forced their kid to become trans or cross-dress?
Yeah, I don't know. This is just insanity.
Yeah, I would say, look, at the end of the day, my personal opinion on this is that at the end of the day, I would say that this mother is rewriting history. I don't know this mother for a bar of soap, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. But I would say that this mother has rewritten history. That at the end of the day, I think she wanted a little baby girl. And I think the mother might have doted on this kid a little bit when she was a baby, being all lonely. Dude, I tell you what, if I ever have a kid, I hope it's a female. I really do. I hope I have daughters and not sons sometimes. I really do. Because at the end of the day, I worry there's so much social pressure on the males to do this.
hopefully in the future things will be different. But
yeah, let's just keep it at that. Yeah,
I
know what you're going to say.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen, and we've already talked about this in private, but I don't think that's...
No, that's not what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
That's not what I was going to say.
You reckon the pendulum will swim?
I just think that the pendulum will swing back enough that teachers, your school institutions, things like that will just stop this toxic masculinity thing is going to be changed. It's going to be different. So programs like safe schools and all that sort of stuff will be exposed for what it is.
Yeah.
It's
already starting to happen.
Just supporting the fact that boys will be boys.
That's a little bit controversial there, bro. Boys will be boys, girls will be girls. That's a little bit controversial to say these days.
Well, most of society accepts that men and women are different. It's just the minority lefties that don't.
Ooh, subtle white. Oh, better watch out, bro. You might get some angry leftists tweeting at you.
Oh, I'm okay. I can take it. I never check my Twitter anyway.
True. I don't think I even have you on Twitter, do I?
I don't know.
Anyway, look, at the end of the day, it'd be interesting to see what happens to this kid when he hits puberty. You reckon they're going to try and give him blockers?
Yeah. If intervention is not done, then puberty blockers will probably be administered, and then this kid probably won't be able to have children ever, and that will ruin his life forever, which often leads to an unfortunate, very permanent end sometimes, which is sad, very sad.
True. All right, let's jump on
child abuse.
Yeah, well, let's jump onto something that's a little... I don't think we can do that last story.
No? The California University one.
Yeah, no.
Aww.
Oh boy. What do you think?
Well, I really did want to cover it.
Yeah, but is it... Well, it's Fox News. Okay, let's do it. California universities... Hold on, guys. Grab you by the balls. We're going in tight. California University's website says it's okay for children to engage in sexual play and watch porn. Oh, I think all of my subs have killed themselves by this point. I really do. But hold on, boys. Let's ride this pony out. A public university in California, of course it's California, features a controversial website that encourages parents to react positively when a 4-year-old touches each other's genitals and says young children should be allowed to watch porn. The University of California, Santa Barbara, hosts an online platform within the society department called Sex Info Online, which is maintained by students, who have studied advanced topics in human sexuality that seeks to answer a myriad of questions on sexuality, the College Fix reported. The majority of sexual play between children takes place between ages of 4 and 7, the website states in a search section titled Childhood Sexuality, accompanied by a photo of 2 little girls that appear to be kissing on a bench. They're children. Frigging hell. Children might display affection to their friends by hugging and kissing or touching each other's genitals, which is perfectly normal. Parents should not react in a negative way because children are just exploring. Wow. It adds the parents should intervene only if acts are non-consensual or hurtful. Wow. you know, between them trying to normalize pedophilia and this, does anybody else see the link?
Yeah.
Yeah. In a section titled "Talking to Your Children About Sex," parents are encouraged to let their children watch pornography. This is important, and children understand that viewing pornography is a normal habit, and that way they do not need to be ashamed of it, UCSB students wrote. Yes, because let's get kids addicted to porn at a young age. The article tells parents how to have the talk with their kids. Children and teens do not want to be told what to do, especially when it comes to personal topics such as sex, the website states. That's the importance that parents do not lecture their children, but instead try to present information and have an open discussion about sex. Adolescents will make their own discussion regarding sex, and it's up to the parents to give the information and resources needed to make the informed decisions. The school's Department of Sociology chair declined to comment, and the university did not immediately respond for comment. Is anybody else surprised that they are not responding to this? All right. Thoughts.
You go first. I have to formulate my thoughts in a YouTube-friendly way.
Damn it! I was hoping you'd do that.
Oh my god!
It's California. Can we? Okay, so California is near the ocean, right?
This is beyond effed up in so many ways.
Is it possible to build a wall around the California, and we can just turn it? Like, just build
put up
the
a big wall around California and just turn it into compost.
Just let them rot. Just let them get the Republicans out. Get those guys out because they're good, and we can do like an exchange program. We can throw the left into California, like the progressives, and we can get the Republicans out. We can do like an exchange program, right? And then we can build the wall around California. We can give them independence. We can set up webcams and everything like that, and we can have it as a reality show.
Yeah, and then we can send in Rambo to find the people who are responsible for this university thing. And
I think living in this state would be enough. I really do think that just living in this hellhole nightmare that they want to create would be enough to.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's hell on earth, otherwise they go to hell.
It would be like Escape from LA, except it'd be Escape from California. Which is LA, isn't it? LA's California.
Was that the first time you've read that article, by the way?
Yeah.
Or heard of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised that you're still sitting there with a working monitor right now.
I'm trying to.
Yeah. When I read that.
Okay, LA is an actual. Okay, Escape from LA is Escape from California. Okay, I was. Yeah. Okay. I know why they picked LA for that city now.
Yeah, when I read that the first time, I just banged my desk, and I had to go and just have some lunch to calm down. I couldn't believe that was actually something, because I mean, I had a bad reaction to the original stuff that came out of safe schools. You know, like the pamphlets, OMG, my friend is queer and stuff like that, and whatnot. But
it's indoctrination of children.
This is beyond indoctrination. This is basically pedophilia in schools, like the real
well,
thing.
This is kids playing with other kids. I don't think that's pedophilia, but
No, but they want to sit them down and put porn in front of them.
Yeah, that in itself is just creepy as fuck. Like,
yeah,
what the hell? What are you doing? Like,
and apparently the students of the university are the ones making this.
yeah, kind of makes you wonder what kind of students they got working there and if they're on a certain list. But you know, hey, moving along.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably, what, 19, 20-year-olds in a uni?
I would say.
Who are these children and what family background did they come from?
True.
Like, I have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And I don't even really care to actually ask them.
No.
I'll ask my questions at the end of a barrel.
Well, I can't advocate for that, but anyway.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, this is probably the best excuse I've seen for a while. When it comes to homeschooling, this is probably one of the better reasons that why people should homeschool their kids.
With the Safe Schools program in Australia, I'm already really looking into the school. That I'm, you know, and if I can't find anything, I'm homeschooling. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, guys, updating news. It's just come out. France is rioting because they won the World Cup. Freaking idiots! Yeah, we won the World Cup. Let's trash our city in support of its city that we're just trashed. Yeah. Like. Literally, like
that's weird.
Yeah.
Well.
Like, yeah, we just did well. We won the World Cup. Let's trash the city. Yeah, like freak me drunk, really. But anyway.
Well, I mean, that's a good note to. I mean, unless there's anything after that, that's a good note to end it.
Yeah, I need to go and look up, you know, homeschooling kids for the future.
Yeah.
Dude, I swear, if I have and see, this is the problem. If you have like a kid, like a son, this is where it gets into danger because you start overcompensating and you want to then go taking him hunting and shooting and that just to make sure he grows up somewhat.
Yeah.
I don't want to say normal, but yeah. You can actually push your kid into this sort of stuff by overcompensating too much. Like when I grew up, right? I grew up with in a family, right? My mum, my dad, my brother, and at the end of the day, like, you know, like we'd go hunting and, you know, like we had go-karts and bikes and motorbikes and, you know, all this sort of stuff. Like. You know, like I grew up on, like, I had the best of both worlds. I grew up in the city, but I also had a grandfather that had a farm. So we would grow up in the city during the week, and then on the weekends, we would go out in the farms. And it would have all the stuff. And, you know, like it wasn't every weekend, but, you know, it was a good, you know, 1 or 2 out of every month. You know, we'd get to see the cows, dodge the cow shit, you know, stuff like that. So at the end of the day, you know, I had the best of both worlds really growing up. And you know, I grew up hunting and, you know, all that sort of stuff, you know trying to catch, you know, catfish in the dams. All the stuff that kids does. All the stuff kids do.
Well, I mean, I grew up around camping, traveling.
Yeah.
And then after that, you know, doing electronics, walking canals, dodging trains, literally. And you know, just doing cool shit, jumping off roofs even, you know.
Yeah, been an idiot. Things kids tend to do.
Yeah,
kid stuff.
Yeah, and my generation, you know, we're the generation of people who question the kids these days and go, well, according to today's standards, I shouldn't be alive.
No. According to today's standard, you're supposed to be wrapped in bubble wrap and you know, and yeah, basically going through and yeah, but yeah. Anyway, this might be a good old spot to wrap it up. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts are on any of these topics. And if I don't have a YouTube channel tomorrow, we know why. But no, seriously, I do have a second backup channel, Nonpartisan Media Live. I will put a link. I believe it's featured, actually. Please go and sub to that channel just in case anything does happen to this one. But guys, apart from that, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below regarding any of these stories we covered tonight. Yeah, I always do check the comments. I'm a little slack on replying, but I definitely do see them all because my phone goes off, yeah, literally puts them up on notifications. So I do read every single reply. So feel free to let me know what your thoughts are on this or any other topics we talked about. Apart from that, guys, obviously Satellite's Chute channel is obviously linked in the description below. My Discord is also linked in the description below. And apart from that, guys, yeah, we'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great night and enjoy.
Have a great night. Catch us all.